guys, welcome back to the Cocco channel and to another baby video. I actually just got done filming my second trimester roundup, so if you want to give that a look, I will link it down below. I was talking for like a half hour straight and I'm so out of breath. Whew. So, as you can tell from the title of this video, it's going to be all about a baby registry. I feel like this is something really important that if you're a first-time mom, you feel kind of awkward doing, and if you're a second mom, you feel too guilty to do one because for some reason, I even had a wonderful young lady comment on one of my videos that she wanted to do a registry for her second born because all of her co-workers were asking her to do one so they knew what to buy her. And her sister-in-law like totally guilted her into not doing one because it was greedy, or I can't remember what word she used, and I was like, that is bull-loney. So I really wanted to make this video also because my sister-in-law, who is having a baby with her wonderful partner, they were asking me some tips and tricks because this is their very first baby. And so I wrote them this like long, huge text message of like what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I should make a video on this. So I just want to encourage you to not feel guilty. I know, especially as a first-time mom, I was like, I don't want to have a baby shower. I don't want to do a registry. Like, it's so awkward because you're basically like, hey, here's a list of stuff I want and that you need to buy me. But I want to let you know that on the majority of people, they are not thinking of it that way. I feel like if somebody says something really rude to you, they're either really jealous or don't have the money or something like that. Like, there's a like snarky reason behind them saying snarky things, if you know what I mean. Most of the time, your friends, your coworkers, your family, they want to buy you something that you specifically want. You know what I mean? Not something that they're just gonna go walk around a store. Because a lot of the times, you know, your coworkers or maybe your family members don't have children of their own yet. They don't know what's like good, they don't know like good brands of a certain item, like nipples, you know what I mean? They don't know what kind of bottles you're gonna use. They don't know if you're breastfeeding. They don't know if you're gonna bottle feed. They don't know, you know what I mean, if you're going to baby carry, if you're gonna use a stroller, if they could get you accessories for, you know, whatever you choose to do. So this is also informing them, like, even if they don't buy something specifically off of your registry that's like the same exact color or style or brand, they can see like, oh, she has 3 different carriers or wraps on here, so obviously she wants to baby carry, so we could get her some really cool wraps. Or same with breastfeeding, like we could get her some really cool, what I call hooter hiders if you are a person who wants to breastfeed in public, but maybe you aren't to the level of just whipping it out in public. If you are, like, high five, because that is freaking amazing. I personally don't think I would have that much guts. I know, I'm a sissy, but I'm definitely a hooter hider kind of person, and I'm not really great at breastfeeding because I solely I exclusively pumped with my son because we had some latching issues. He would latch on, but like it didn't come out fast enough because he was a big boy. And somebody was asking me if we got his tongue clipped underneath the webbing, and I said no. Nobody brought that up to me whatsoever. I had a really horrible experience with a lactation consultant or expert, whatever you want to call it, at the hospital we delivered at in DC. And so I was like, you know what, I still want him to get those nutrients. I still want him to have the breast milk, and so I pumped a million times a day. But it was also pros and cons to that because everyone else was able to feed him and kind of get that cuddling one-on-one time with him, you know what I mean, of like staring into the little baby's eyes while he eats and slowly drifts to sleep. And so it's totally up to you. If you want to do none of those and do formula, if you want a formula feed, that is totally fine too. There is no person in the world, not even your partner, who should be able to ever make you feel guilty about what you decide about your body and everything like that, without getting too feminist, because I'm not really one of those. But I strongly believe in you doing what you are comfortable with and what is good for your baby, because even though you're maybe a first-time mom, your instinct kicks in immediately. just so you guys know. So I just wanted to start off with that, is that don't let anyone make you feel guilty about doing one as a first-time mom because you think it's awkward, or if you're a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, 10 times mom. I said this in my second trimester roundup that I don't feel like any baby, no matter which order they're in line, should be celebrated any less than the first one. Of course, the firstborn is the most exciting because it's a brand new experience and, you know, exposure to a different world. But like I said, I just don't feel like any baby should be celebrated any less. If you want to have a baby shower for every single one of them, you're gonna do it. And nobody should be able to make you feel guilty about it, especially your in-laws. Okay, so we're gonna get into the things you need to put on your registry and the things you don't. And this is all based on my experience with my firstborn. Things you want to put on your registry are things you can never have enough of. So diapers in multiple sizes. Don't go too ham on the newborn size because they're not going to be in them that long unless you have a premature or below average child. They just really don't stay in newborns that long. They really don't. I think maybe Aiden was in there, and he was even 9 pounds, and he did start out in newborns, but I think he was in there for maybe 3 weeks, if that. As far as diapers go, there are obviously multiple options. You can do the cloth diapers, which Babies R Us, Bye Bye Baby, Target, everyone has those now. If you're super crafty, I know for a fact that Joann's has like a specific little section for making your own. They have the snaps, they have, you know, the cloth on the outside, the lining for the inside. If you are a sewer or a crafty person, you can definitely ask for those coupon or gift cards. Aside from cloth diapers, what I've always heard are that Pampers are good for boys, Huggies are good for girls, and you can go one of those routes. I've also heard that it's always better to start off with name brand, and then once they get to a certain size you can go to like Up and Up, or if you're a Walmart shopper, I don't even know what their brand is called, just because I don't have a Walmart close to me. Target is more accessible to me than a Walmart, and same in DC. Target was more accessible than a Walmart, so I'm just not an experienced Walmart shopper. I have nothing against Walmart or shopping at Walmart, or I'm not like a snob against it. You also could go the organic route. They have like the 7th generation. When my son was first born, we actually were on the subscription service for Honest Company, which is also now sold at Target and Babies R Us. They have really adorable prints. Again, the child is peeing and pooping in it, but if organic and biodegradable things of that nature are important to you, I highly recommend Honest. It was amazing getting those in the mail sent to you every month. You got enough diapers. I think we had to start supplementing maybe around size 2, you know what I mean? He was starting to go through them, and you're in size 2, typically the longest on average. And then once we got to size 3, for some reason he started leaking through them. I mean, he was leaking through them like nobody's business. It was pretty bad. So I do want to start her off with Honest again. I have already purchased 2 boxes of Honest diapers, and we did put Honest on our registry. We also put Pampers on our registry just because that's what my son is still in now. Even though, like I said, you could switch over to like store brand, I just love and trust Pampers. We have tried other brands. We tried Huggies, we tried Pull-Ups, we tried 7th generation, we tried Costco, like the Kirkland diapers, and nothing holds like Pampers for him. And so I bought 1 box of Pampers to see how those work for her, and then, like I said, I think I have 2 boxes of Honest Company in various sizes, so we can kind of look and see what works for her. Wipes, it really isn't going to matter. The only thing that you're going to have to be careful of is if your child has skin sensitivity, because there are different ones. There's ones with perfume, there's ones that are organic, there's ones that are for sensitive, there's ones that are just, you know, all over the place. And for Aiden, we just got clean and free Pamper wipes, which have no perfume, no scent, no, as chemical free. Again, we did use the Honest ones, which were okay, but I prefer the Pamper ones. I feel like they keep their wetness the longest. They don't dry out as easy as a lot of the other ones. Some more things that you can put on your registry, especially for those of you who have friends or family or coworkers that are on a budget that are really, really easy to get. Washcloths, butt cream, shampoo, lotion, and baby safe cleansers. So like you have quite a few different things that you need cleansers for. So you have bottle cleansers, which you want to be careful about using different soaps. Again, this is all on your personal preference. If you need or want things that are organic, chemical free, safe for you to use while the baby's like out and about, and especially in their bottles, because if you leave some residue, it's better knowing that there's not as much stuff than when there is. Trust me, you're gonna be on that tired moment. If you didn't want to put those on your registry, you also have the option of doing, again, the Honest subscription service. I had the diapers and I had the cleaning service, and so I would get sent, you get to pick and you can change it every single month. So if you buy Windex, counter cleaner, dishwasher packs, dishwasher soap, or regular dish soap, not specifically for the dishwasher, one month, you could change it up the next month to laundry detergent, to dryer sheets, to, they even have like cleaning things, like you could get an Honest Company like washcloth or dish sponge, sanitary wipes. They have things for moms like lotions and salves. They have that again for baby, and shampoos and conditioners, lotions, all of that stuff. So definitely look into the subscription services. I highly recommend them. It was so easy, especially with a newborn. You're not really leaving the house that much when they're first born, because they're up like every 2 hours eating, and that means you're not getting sleep more than 2 hours at a time. So it's pretty exhausting, especially I also had a C-section, and so I was bedridden a lot. Not as much as I should have been, but I was in a lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain, and I didn't want to take my pain medication because I was like super paranoid about, you know, it being in the breast milk and affecting Aiden. And so it was just, first time is such a learning curve. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be leaving the house for a little while. And when you do leave the house, I remember the first time we left the house, Aiden pooped through like 3 outfits, I want to say, and it even got on me, and we ended up in the Christmas tree shop, and I had to pump. So I sat on like one of those swings that were being sold for like summertime, and I was just bawling my eyes out silently because I had poop all over me, he had poop all over him, and I was like trying to pump, and I was like really awkward and embarrassed because it was our first time out since we had him, and we had Andrew's sister with us, and it was just awful. Awful. But it gets better and it gets easier, I can promise you that. And then you want to decide what you're doing for feeding, as I was mentioning in the beginning. For breastfeeding, you're going to want a boppy. Was the best thing ever, and Andrew's sister actually was the one that bought us one. When they came, they went and got it, and we used it nonstop. And they have tons of different cute covers. It was amazing for trying to get him to breastfeed, which I did try multiple times, but it was also really good for him to just like sit in. You know what I mean? If you were like on the couch, you could like sit him in it, and he was like kind of sitting up, and you get that like really great eye contact, which they can't really see you for a while, but it's just really, really nice. Your arms are gonna get tired and stuff like that. So definitely, if you're breastfeeding, or if you're not, you want a boppy. And then you can get like some different covers because you're gonna be washing that thing too. And then again, if you are breastfeeding, you want to get some nursing pads. I highly recommend the ones that are reusable and washable. I did try the disposable ones, which have like a sticky back on them, and you stick them like on the inside of your bra, and they would get like folded over. The sticky part would get like stuck to your nipple, and it was the most painful thing to get it off. And they were just really uncomfortable and scratchy. I got these really amazing, actually I think my mom bought them for me, these bamboo ones, and you get to like throw them in the washer, because that's another thing that you're not going to expect, is that you literally leak all the time. You get more control over it, but when your milk first comes in, it comes in without you knowing it. I woke up in the hospital because we were there much longer than normal deliveries because number one, I had a C-section, so you automatically have to stay longer, but like I think it was on the 3rd day we were there, they found out my son had jaundice, so they had to do the whole light treatment. They didn't have the option of taking it home with you. So I think my milk came in on like day 4, and I just woke up and I was so like soaking wet, and it was so like not embarrassing, but you just like don't know. It's like having like an uncontrollable bladder, you know what I mean? Like it almost feels like you peed your shirt, if that makes sense. And it would happen and you don't feel it happening, because I remember after we got home and Andrew's parents were there, and I remember I was talking to his dad, and all of a sudden I just had these 2 huge spots on my shirt, and I was like, I gotta go upstairs and change, and it was like so embarrassing, which there's nothing embarrassing about it, but it just makes you uncomfortable because you literally can't control it. So invest in some good nursing pads that'll soak that stuff up. So again, you want a Hooter hider if you are a more private person. If you're gonna whip it out, like I said, high five, that's amazing. For bottle feedings, you want a good sterilizer. We have this one, and it's probably going to be controversial to some, but it was a microwave one. Obviously we had the grass, I'll insert a picture of what I'm talking about, and this little tree, and like the bottle, we got, I think, the Dapple bottle soap or the Honest soap, depending, and the scrubby. So we would wash it really, really good, rinse it out really, really good, and then we have this sterilizer, and we bought one from my parents' house too when we came to visit, and you literally like fill the water up to a line, you throw it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and it steams it and sterilizes everything, and then you put it on the little grass and on the little thing to dry, and it's the best thing ever because it sits on your counter. Like when it was time for me to pump, Andrew could like just go grab the bottles, bring them upstairs to where I was pumping, because again, I couldn't really go up and down the stairs too much when we first got home. So that was amazing. Don't put bottles on your registry, because you're not going to know which bottle the baby's going to use until the baby's here. The baby is going to let you know which one they like, and which one is good for whether it's their palate or, you know what I mean, their sucking abilities, stuff like that. And that's another reason why you want to do a registry, is because you get sent a ton of free stuff. So we had like Advent bottles, we had the MAM bottles, we had the Numb bottle, is that Nuke bottles, we had a ton of different bottles, and of course my son falls in love with the Lancino, which is the purple ones, which you can only buy online, but of course we got sent one and he absolutely loved it. Although my pump was a Nuke pump, it wasn't like anything expensive, extravagant, but it did exactly what I needed it to do. It had different speeds. You could do a single breast if you were breastfeeding at the same time. It had so many different functions, and like I said, it wasn't the most expensive thing, but it only went with Nuke bottles, and so we had this whole set of Nuke bottles that we would have to dump in a Lancino bottle because that was what he liked. So again, don't put like nipples or bottles or anything like that. When you sign up for your registries, it like goes out to all these different companies. You're gonna get so much crap in the mail. They send you wipes, they send you diapers, they send you coupons, they send you all kinds of stuff. Sign up for as many registries as you can, honestly, even if you don't list every single one of them. Like right now we have one with Amazon and Babies R Us, and I want to do one with Target too. So again, you want the drying rack. It doesn't have to be the fancy grass one that we got. The soap, which again, if you're gonna do the Honest subscription service, or just put like Dapple or whatever is in that section on your registry, and that's another inexpensive gift that people can give you that you're going to go through and you're going to use. So my sister-in-law and her partner are not announcing the gender of the baby, so I told them to put whatever gender neutral clothing you have on there. You don't have to put clothing, because a lot of the times people see something really cute that is gender specific if you have announced the gender and they're gonna buy what they like. It's just a brain mechanism. Like, you see something really cute that you like, you're gonna wanna get it, you know what I mean, for that person. We did put some clothing on there, however, this girl does not need any more clothing for at least probably a year, because I went crazy. If you missed my gender, or if you missed my very first gender specific haul when I found out she was a girl, I'll link that down below, because I got her a lot. But you definitely want to put, a couple things on there, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people love clothing shopping. I also suggest this many times to try and stay away from white. Sometimes it's impossible because I bought so many like amazing 3-piece sets, which I think are amazing things to have, because it's really easy to go from an accident to a clean pair of clothes because it comes in a 3-piece. You can just change the shirt and you're good to go. But a lot of the white comes in those 3 pieces, but try and stay away from white because baby poop is lethal. It stains things like you would not believe. So I would also definitely recommend to try and stay away from white if you can. You can never have enough blankets or burp cloths. You'll go through 3 to 6 a day. Same with bibs once you start on the baby food. Now, when my son was born, it wasn't popular, but now the bibs that are like the kerchiefs, the bib kerchief, you know what I'm talking about, are really, really popular. I have quite a few for baby girl. I did get regular bibs as well, but those are just really, really easy, especially if you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding. It doesn't matter which one you're gonna do, they're gonna spit up. Spit up is the worst. It's not the worst, but it's just not good. And that stuff stains too. So you can never have enough bibs, the blankets, and the handkerchiefs, like, or yeah, kerchiefs, whatever you want to call them, and the receiving blanket, like burp cloths. We didn't really buy a ton of those because the hospital gave us like 6 with the pink and the blue stripe on there, and we would just use that for burping. And you want something long because that stuff travels and drips, just saying. So another tip that I have for you guys as far as the registry goes is that you want to put all of your big ticket items on there. Most places like Targets and Babies R Us will give you a coupon to finish buying all of the things on your registry before your due date. So even if people aren't going to buy you a $200 stroller or a $100 car seat or a $200 rocker, you'll get coupons between 10 and 30% off to buy it yourself. So make sure you do research and read reviews before you put it on the registry. That's one thing, is that we haven't put on there our big ticket items because we're still researching on whether I want a double stroller that houses both baby girl and Aiden, or if I want just one for her because it's gonna be just me and her most of the time because Aiden's gonna be starting school. I haven't decided yet. And with that, usually if you don't do a travel system, you're gonna, which comes together, we had that for Aiden when he was born. It was a stroller and a car seat that matched each other, that came together, but you could also just do a frame and then get a separate car seat. So do your research, read reviews, talk to your friends, see what they love, family, whatever. Do your research. So stroller, rocker, glider, baby carrier, wraps, rocker, stuff like that. We had a rocker that Aiden absolutely loved when he was first born, and it was such a piece of garbage that when he got to a certain weight that wasn't specified on the thing, it just stopped rocking him. Like, he was too heavy, but it, like, he wasn't like 20 pounds, you know what I mean? It just stopped way before it should have. So again, do your research. If you want a rocker, we also had like a floor chair for him that just vibrated, that had all the toys on it. It was like the rainforest chair is what we called it. His sister bought us that as well. We didn't have an activity floor mat, and I'm definitely going to do that with her. So definitely keep your eyes out and see what you're going to use. This time I think I would rather have this swing because it vibrates as well, and most of the time they have the things on there, and it's easier to put them to sleep that way. Because you don't, like, me personally, the best advice I can give to you is you don't want to put them to sleep in your arms every single time. Otherwise they're going to become dependent on that, and it's going to become quite tiresome. Just saying. If you are that mom that wants hands-on experience at all times, and you know what I mean, wants to be there are those moms out there that I want to be able to put them to sleep myself every single time, and you want that like skin on skin contact, you know what I mean, at all times. More power to you, but I just would advise you to be careful if you don't want to become like dependent on, you know what I mean, depended on. Also put your keepsakes on there. They have so many amazing things nowadays for like memories. When Aiden was born, we did like the foam handprints and footprints. They have like shadow boxes for your umbilical cord if you're into that. You know what I mean? Or like the baby's first hat, hospital gown, what have you. Put all of those on there, because again, even if people don't buy that for you, it's something you can get for yourself later. You can get like a memory book. My first book, we have a book for Aiden that was like his first tooth, his first bath, his first this, you know what I mean, all that stuff on there. Try and think about your hospital stay. You want a bag for you and baby, a coming home outfit for them and you, if you are interested again in that, if you're going to be doing like tons of photos, if what they're wearing is important to you. I know there's a ton of people out there that like don't even think about stuff like that. I don't even remember what Aiden wore home, but I definitely want like a coming home outfit for her. I feel like genders are different, or maybe it's just I'm a different mom now. And then think about if you're getting photos taken there at the hospital. We did a photo shoot with Aiden there at the hospital. They actually had like a photographer in-house that would come to your room, ask you if you wanted something, and they did like the beautiful like Moses basket, and you know what I mean, they did photos of me and the baby, of Andrew and the baby and stuff like that, but I wasn't prepared for that at all. And so I have like, not that it matters, but you always want to look good in your photos, and you see photos nowadays of freaking women getting their C-sections and they're like full beat. And so I didn't have makeup or hair done or anything. So I'm definitely gonna be more prepared for that this time. Okay, another really important thing is your diaper bag. You really want to, I think when it comes to diaper bags, you get what you pay for. We had one that kind of matched our stroller and car seat, but it wasn't the best thing in the world, and it didn't even last a year. It ripped on the inside and everything. We have this one now from Eddie Bauer. I think we've had it for like 2 years almost. I think no, a little over a year, I want to say, and it's still in amazing shape. It attaches to the stroller, which I think is the most amazing thing, because some strollers don't have like the biggest undercarriage things, or if you have an undercarriage thing, you're going to use it for other stuff, like if you're going shopping or whatever, what have you. So it has like these straps that go around the stroller and click into each other, so it literally hangs there. It's also really easy to access wipes and diapers if you're changing the baby or feeding things, bottles, things of that sort. And you want to make sure that you aren't going to be embarrassed to wear it. That's my personal opinion anyways. I love Aiden's backpack. I'm not embarrassed to wear it, you know what I mean? It's not ugly, it's not weird, it looks like just a regular backpack, but you could tell it's like a baby bag. And I've already found one that I absolutely love for her and put on my registry. Also, going back to the clothing thing, I mentioned the multiple piece sets are amazing. It makes it a lot easier picking out clothes, because I remember I even kind of did it this time. I bought like a ton of like different pants and different shirts, and a lot of them go with anything, you know what I mean? So I'm not sitting there like digging through, rifling through, but the multiple piece outfits are so easy because you know for a fact that it matches. And again, with accidents, like you can just change the onesie into another one and you're good to go, and it still matches. You're still okay, if that matters to you. I am a freak about matching. If it doesn't match, it doesn't feel right to me. Going back to OCD, but it also saves you in the long run for laundry. You're not like taking a whole outfit, putting it in the dirty clothes, because you are going to be doing laundry quite a bit already between you and your leaking boobs, and getting spit up on and pooped on, and the baby pooping and spitting up on themselves. You're going to be going through a lot. So that is everything you do and don't need on your registry. Tips and tricks of why you should do a registry. And like I said, they send out your information to different companies. You're also going to get formula, which I'm sure people are like wondering about. You're going to get sent, it usually comes in a 4-pack. You get like a big huge can of the yellow Enfamil, a little one, like a medium-sized one, of the blue one, which is like this, if you have issues with soy, or your child obviously has issues with soy or anything like that. And then we got the purple one, and I think that was it. Maybe I could have swore it came in a 4-pack, but anyways, your baby's gonna let you know which one that agrees with them. So you obviously want to start off with the yellow one because it's the most inexpensive and it comes in the biggest can, which when you're formula feeding, they go through it really quick. We did start supplementing at, I want to say 8 months, and then I stopped completely breastfeeding or pumping, I think at close to a year I was done. And by then they're on like, you know, baby food and solids and stuff anyway. But we did supplement, like I said, at night, especially with formula, all the way up until I think we were done with bottles completely. We did eventually switch over to milk, but I think we were done with bottle completely right before he turned 2. Just because Andrew and I both have history of not the greatest teeth, we were like, we don't want him to be on a bottle, and he never gravitated towards a pacifier, and so it was like kind of a blessing, you know what I mean? Anyways, companies are going to send you the formula. Start off with the yellow. My son unfortunately didn't like the yellow. He liked the purple, which was like gentle ease, because he was like gassy, and it just helps with their little tummies. They don't get upset and stuff like that. And he didn't have any soy or lactose issues, so we were good to go with that one. So there are some things that you're not going to know until the baby gets here and how they react to things like lotions. We bought the typical Johnson & Johnson yummy smelling, you know, nighttime lavender bubble bath and lotion and everything, and he broke out to that and that alone. But we could use other Johnson & Johnson soaps. We could use other Johnson & Johnson lotions, but for some reason the purple one like broke him out. So then he got eczema, and I had to get a special eczema cream, but it then ended up working out because we got to go organic with Shea Moisture, and it's like literally the best smelling stuff in the world. We put like 10 bottles of that on our registry, and also like the body wash, but again, she could totally be allergic to it, and we'll just have to use it for Aiden. You know what I mean? Same with formula, same with diapers. Be careful about your laundry detergents, your detergent for your bottles, stuff like that. You're gonna find out a lot, you know, if they start having issues, breakouts and things of that nature. So that is it. I hope some of this helped you. Maybe I'll link our registries down below so you can kind of just see what sort of things we put on there. Again, you don't have to, it's not like a plug like, hey, if you guys want to get me something. It's just like informational. If you guys want to see some examples, some of the stuff is on there from Andrew that he picked, and I wanted him to feel like he was participating. So he picked some funky outfits on there and some really random things. But I get, oh, and pacifiers too. You're not going to know which kind of pacifier your kid wants until they get here, but you'll be sent some. The hospital gives you those like all rubber ones. So it's definitely a learning curve. If you guys have any questions or need any advice, I am on my second one, so I feel like I know some. There's not one person in this world that knows everything about parenting and has the answers to everything, but I would be more than happy to help you, or maybe if I can't, somebody else in the comments can. But that is it. I've been talking way too long. This video is way too long, and I was talking before this for my second trimester roundup. So that is it. I love you guys. I thank you so much for watching. If you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Brittany Cocco. You are watching the Cocco channel. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!